do. I don't know if you guys are influenced.
No, this must be a vlog.
Yes,
I'm not even joking.
it is. I said it is now.
What are we doing right now?
Hi guys. Hey.
Why?
I'm thinking about that.
Did I even put this?
I can click today. My impulse bag.
Answer me now. Do you love me as well as Kiss that baby girl. Maybe not.
Hi guys, we are back from camp. Yeah. Our good mood. Classic. No, I probably looked crazy if you was in camp, but you guys don't understand. I could not have a small thing. So while I was getting ready this morning, I realized I'm running out of a lot of things like perfume, body wash, there's another thing, but I don't remember the other thing. And I'm just thinking about how I'm going to have to go shopping soon. Oh, lip gloss too. Yeah, I don't like money going out of my account. I'm not looking forward to that. practicing talking to the camera in public. It's not sweet, but it's anything of things I have to say. I like morning air. It's foggy. Yes. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. Thinking what I'm thinking, right? Yeah, this guy is very pretty. So I'm coming back from I love trees. In case it hasn't been noticed yet, I love trees. Hi, my name is Dumzi and welcome to Curiosa by D, Curiosa by me. On this channel, we will be basically exploring anything and everything about life, about God, about work, school, medicine, arts, and yeah, I'm so glad to have you here and I hope you stick along for the ride. It is almost as if my body has been anticipating this moment, and I had absolutely no idea because the amount of joy that I feel just being here, speaking into this microphone, looking into this camera with you, in front of myself, in front of God, it just I can't wipe the smile off of my face. I did not know how intensely I had been waiting for this, or how happy this would make me, or how much of my fulfillment was actually tied to this single tiny moment in time and space and life. Maybe I'm going a bit too deep, but I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. Like literally, yo, I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited to be here with you. I hope you're just as excited to be here with me because this life now one. This life is only one, and to think that in this particular moment suddenly we're just, crossing paths on this big thing called the internet, and I have the opportunity to share a piece of myself with you, and maybe you have the opportunity to leave a piece of yourself with me, or even take a piece of myself along with you. And it is such a beautiful exchange. It is such a beautiful moment in which to exist. And I give all the glory to God genuinely and wholeheartedly because even I still do not completely understand what I'm doing here. I still do not completely understand what you're doing here. Like, what can you gain from me? What can I give to you? What can this become? And as lost as I am, should I say lost? Maybe that's a strong word, but as in the unknown as I am still completely curious at what can come of this encounter between the two of us. And that is basically the whole demeanor of my heart. That has been the entire outlook of my heart in contemplating this video, in making this video, in finally sitting down to speak to you as a part of this video. And, in being curious about things that you do not know, I think we can all admit, I think everybody on this earth, in this room, wherever, whatever, I think everybody can admit that it's so easy to focus on the negatives, on the less desired outcomes. You have to pardon me, I'm not feeling my best right now, so my voice is not too clear. But back to the topic. It is so easy to focus almost entirely on the negative outcomes. Okay, I am going out, I'm going ahead to do this thing. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to try. What if it doesn't work? What if I fall down when I jump? What if when I fall, I don't find soft ground to land on? What if I fall down on hard, rocky ground and all my bones get broken and my flesh tears and I bleed and I cry and everything just goes absolutely, absolutely, completely wrong? What if it doesn't? That's what we're always asking. What if not? What if not? And it's practical. Okay, it's practical. We barely ever think that we need shelter for a positive outcome. We barely ever think that we need shield for a positive outcome. We think our brains are wired to prepare for the future, and we don't really need to prepare for good things happening. At least we don't think that we do. But for the bad things happening, we have to think of, okay, what is my backup plan in this particular scenario? Okay, so I fall down and all my body is broken and torn and beaten down. Where is the nearest hospital? Okay, being practical, making plans. If I do fall down, how do I get myself healed so that I don't bleed to death and, have that be the end of it all? Okay, so we're always practicalizing how. Okay, one, what if not? And two, how can I take care of that if not? But what if yes? Stay with me now. Instead of asking, what if, sorry, my heart is really beating right now. What if it doesn't work? What about what if it works? Do we think about that often enough? What if that is what we are truly scared of deep down inside of our hearts? Okay, what if I tried this thing that I really want to try and I'm not phenomenal? Maybe I'm just not as phenomenal as I hope to be. But here's the big question: what if I am phenomenal? What if you are phenomenal? I don't know, but let that sentence, heavy as it is, sink into your subconscious. And I'm going to let it sink into mine. What if I was phenomenal? And I don't know. When I consider this question, I think I'm even more scared of the positive than I am of the negative. And I don't know why. Do you know why? I genuinely have no idea why. Why are we so scared of the good things? Why are we so scared of the best outcomes? Maybe it's because they are fragile. Maybe it's because we are fragile and it's so much easier being in the negative forever than having a second in the light, a second in the positive, and then everything goes to sham. But that's just me being negative again, isn't it? Because what if it doesn't go to sham? What if it all stays perfectly put together forever? And obviously, it's not realistic that everything will always go according to plan, that everything will always go absolutely perfectly as we hope for and as we wish. But given this fact, is it really worth it when you think about it to spend your whole life just not letting yourself be fully as you are, just not letting yourself fully experience hope, just not letting yourself fully be in the positive? I don't know if I'm saying this right, and I hope I am, and I hope you do get what I'm trying to say. Because the big question is, what if I am phenomenal? And if I run away from this possibility, I'd be running away from myself. I'd be running away from reality. The bad is not always the reality. Maybe it is not. Maybe bad is not the reality. Maybe good is the reality. Maybe the reality is about to be the best possible outcome I can or any other person can imagine. And, I think it's true bravery. I think it's true bravery being open to that possibility, that small maybe, that little unlikely, very likely, highly likely, completely unlikely maybe of the positive. I think that's true courage in a form that many of us are yet to explore. Coming on to the topic of courage, I'll get a little vulnerable with you now because in this conversation, I guess what we're highlighting is the courage in wanting, the courage that it truly takes to truly want, and not just want in the abstract sense of the word, in terms of, oh, I desire this thing. Want in terms of, I desire this thing in my heart, and I let it not just take my heart, but also my vision. I let it take my mind. I let it take my body. I let it take my hands. I let it take pieces of my soul, meaning I run towards this thing. I don't just want from where I am, I want in motion. Imagine wanting in motion. Wanting from where you are is simple. It is dead simple. It is dead, should I say, cowardly. Wanting from where you are, wanting while staying put is basically the easiest thing in the world because all you have to do is think and feel. Although sometimes those two things are incredibly hard things to do, yes, but I mean, comparing wanting while staying put to wanting while actually advancing, while actually being in motion, taking steps towards that thing that is suddenly becoming the object of your desire, the object of your aspiration, the form of your vision, moving towards that, full wanting, complete wanting, wanting that takes the whole of you. There is so much courage in that. There is so much raw openness to the art and the what's the word, to the phenomenon of living, to the experience of living, the strange and wonderful experience of living. Wanting with your whole self is so hard, and yet it is all that we are made to do, aren't we? Because if you don't, if all you do is stay put and think and feel all day, all night, every moment of your life, come on, come on. Imagine, would you really just be happy that way? I mean, I wouldn't. Personally, I mean, come on, come on. No one wants to just stay put. No one was made to just stay put. And that's why we move. Because we're made to move, man. Yeah, on the subject of wanting and the courage it takes, I guess I'll tell you what I want in being here. What I want in being here in front of you in this singular moment with you. Honestly, this brings me to the one question I have been attempting to answer in the process of making this video. Why? Okay, Curiouser by D, Curiouser by me, a video, vlogs, editing, dressing up and talking. Why? Creating. Why? Sharing. Why? Why did I find it so important to ask myself this question? Why? Because so often I find myself starting things and not often seeing them through completely. I don't always race till I reach the goal. Oftentimes I fall off before I get there, unfortunately. And so all those things were precious to me. And this is precious to me now as well. And I don't want this to be just another one of those things. And so naturally, I was thinking of the negative outcomes. What if no one watches? So why should I create and share anything anyway? If no one was watching, would I still make these? Is this really for myself, or is it just for the eyes that could watch me and be like, wow, what is my inner drive to making this? Why? In the process of trying to answer this question, I found myself going around in circles around what I already knew, that I do this because I love this. I do this because I love this. I love the process of thinking and filming, conceptualizing, editing, writing, wording, poetricizing. This whole thing, doing it, actually letting myself do it, has really brought to my remembrance how much I just love to do this. It's fun for me, man. I don't know why this is such a simple answer. I'm just here to have fun, guys. This is fun for me. This draws me. This act of creating draws me. It's not just through videos that I create. I do photography, I write, I like to sing. I may not be the best singer in the whole world, but I like to sing, okay? It's fun for me. It draws me. The process draws me. And this process of making these videos and subsequent ones after this, it draws me. It makes me invest my full self. It is me wanting in motion. I have a vision for Curiouser by D. Curiouser by me. I have a vision and it's something that I want. That vision is what I want to see actualized, right? And I can want that while staying put, or I can want that in motion and be here doing this. So, yeah, this is just me being me. This completely takes so much from me. It takes my energy, it takes my heart. I literally dub this the work of my heart. I cannot go with neglecting this because it is what draws me. It just pulls me in completely. It pulls in all of me. And then when I pour all of myself into it, I don't feel empty afterwards. I feel a little bit more full, like I'm living. Look, I feel like I sound low key cringe, but man, I feels like I'm living. It feels like I'm moving. I'm being true to myself. I'm existing true to myself, true to my vision, true to my heart, true to my calling. And I know that the calling is not by chance. I know that the drawing, the attraction, the tie that I have to this art of creating is not by chance. I know that there are people that I can impact. I believe that there are people whose lives I can make better just by being myself, just by fully manifesting the gifts that God has placed in me. And this is not, it's not a thing of ego. Then I keep feeling like maybe it's ego if I think that I can make anybody's life better, but it's not ego, man. If God has put something in you, you don't sit down and want, you move. You move towards that thing. You strive towards it. You don't sit still. You never sit still. You can sit still when you're in your grave. You can sit still when you're in your grave. I can sit still when I'm in my grave, but for now, I have life in me and I am healthy. It is so hard to be sick. It is so hard to be alive and not being able to do all the things that you want to do. But maybe you, as you're watching right now, are just like me and you're alive and you can do so many things with your body. You can see, you can talk, you can walk, you can feel things as per the sensitivity of skin, you can touch, you can breathe. These things are privileges. And it is so important to move with them while you still can. Because if it reaches the point when you no longer can, you're going to suddenly be going through this whirlwind of regrets, just diving down, down deeper into this abyss of despair because you have not done the things that you could have done. It is so much easier to fail than to regret. I mean, you do something and you feel okay, you did the thing. What if you didn't do the thing? You would regret it for the rest of your life. And failure in itself is not even totally a bad thing. Failure teaches you, failure stretches you, failure grows you. And in thinking about these things, it just reminds me how completely painfully beautiful the experience of life is, because in life you don't find the beauty without the pain. So yes, you and I are going to have to go through this painful and uncomfortable process of moving in order to harvest anything of the beauty that life has to offer. And kind of lost my point, but maybe I'm still on track. Maybe I'm still on track actually, because what was I even saying? Yo? Like, okay, basically, this is me being myself. And I just know that in being myself, I can help someone out there just by letting your light shine. You don't know whose darkness you're going to, that you're going to light up. So, yeah, here's to me having fun, trying to positively impact your life, the one watching this. Yes, you. Yeah, I know that I am me for a purpose. I know that I am me for a purpose. I know that I am me for a reason. I may not know the reason, but maybe finding out the reason is on the other side of just letting myself explore, letting myself be curious and grow a little curiouser each day. Because, even something I found is that with each step I take, more clarity forms. And not only does more clarity form, I guess even more curious about the whole path in general. And what's the gist of all this rambling maybe has been doing for the past maybe 10 minutes? I wonder. You might be wondering. Well, I want to discover. I want to discover. I want to discover. I'm a curious person and I want to discover. I want to discover what is in me. I want to discover what can come out of me. I want to discover what my life can become when I choose to want, not from a stationary place, but in motion. So the question continues to beg for attention. What if I am phenomenal? What if you are phenomenal? What if we can be phenomenal together? Stick around to find out. Welcome to Curiouser by D, Curiouser by me. Bye.